Islam Dwayne. It's June the 4th, 2019. I am right now at the bus stop. Like I said, I was going to get my Maryland State ID. And I was just telling you about the conversation that I had with a customer that came into Burger King. In the first video, it was probably a 4-minute video. This is going to be a 4-minute video too. And it was odd because I remember customers, one particular customer, and he looked like him, asked me about my last name being Bey, or B-E-Y. And but not many guests. Some guests asked about when Memorial Weekend was coming up. They asked about. One guest asked what I was going to do for Memorial Weekend, and I said I'm probably going to study the Constitution of 1787. That's what I'm going to do, is study the Constitution of 1787. So my thoughts were, because I was like, as I was thinking about the victims that were involved in the terroristic or the acts of terrorism during 9/11. I was really feeling sad. I was like, many, they said over 2,000, I think it was, I'm not sure, casualties that happened with the Twin Towers. And so that's not including those who had side effects after. That means, what I'm trying to say is those that, for instance, when you saw the ambulance trucks, and like here, you might hear a lot of sirens going off. I don't know if there's a lot of people getting sick, or the fire trucks. Or in Annapolis, Maryland, a lot of times, as I'm walking back and forth to work, the sirens go off. Fire trucks go off. The ambulance truck, the sirens go off. But so I imagine all those people when the fire trucks in 9/11. Was being used in the ambulance to try to help get the people to the hospitals because they were coughing because of the smoke inhalation and the debris. Can you imagine the debris in your throat? If you're eating food, your food being poisoned, the air is poisoned. Because when it happened, there were probably people going about their day-to-day life. Imagine, I know when I was in New York, I saw a lot of stands. You had hot dog stands. People were able to stop and get a hot dog. Imagine walking, eating your hot dog, and all of a sudden you see smoke and things like you running, and you didn't know, or you were too far to see it, but the debris traveled and you ate it, and the food that you ate became poison in your system. So I think about that, and so that's what I was thinking about when he brought up Memorial Weekend and the I guess he saw a line, something about some of the soldiers that were in the Veterans War. I'm not sure why he brought it up, but that's the only reason why I can think of. He said Memorial, and he said I saw someone with the name Bey. B-E-Y. And, of course, my name is Rhonda Arrington-Bey. My son's name is Arrington-Bey. And I had just posted this morning. I was thinking about how around American Extended Stay, there's someone still speaking about military or yelling military in a masculine manner outside the American Extended Stay room, or outside or down around the way. I don't know who it is, like males are doing it. Anyway, getting back, so the United States rate 35 in health. The United States, according to some statistics, it's the one that I specifically use, it's 35. And so those other nations that are considered healthy, and that's connected to mental health, those that did this statistic don't even consider the United States to be healthy. Or civilized, because health is connected to civilization. So the entire it had the whole entire all the states in red, and that was just one statistic, Dwayne. So this is in connection to, once again, the podcast that I listened to in reference to health that you did, and how important physical health is. and mental health and mental balance. Also, I was thinking about how proud I felt when I work. For instance, when I'm at work and I see a piece of paper. These are some of the thoughts on the floor, and that piece of paper is there, and nobody picked it up. I'm working. I'm at Burger King working. Good work ethics are important to me because that's connected to mental health. Good work ethics, and how you treat your fellow co-workers is connected to mental health. That's another thing I was thinking about. So today, as I swept, I wiped, I kept the front counter sanitized. I kept the front station, fry station sanitized, kept my hands washed and sanitized. I tried to give great customer service. I received a compliment today saying that I did well in customer service. I think the bus is here. I cleaned the shape mix spinner. I tried to expedite the food quickly. No, it's not him. Okay. Why did he stop? The guy just stopped. I don't know. Okay, it said interrupt, but he stopped. And what else did I do? Let's see. It was a white bus, a black male driving it. I don't know if it's the same one, and I don't know if they stop at certain times, but he just drove by. Someone, I don't know. Maybe he's not supposed to. I don't know. And once again, I'm going to get my Maryland State ID. What else did I do? I restocked refrigerators with orange juice. What else? And I was checking the expiration dates on the orange juice and the chocolate milk and the white milk. Yesterday I did pretty good too. June the 3rd, 2019. I mopped, I swept, I did pretty much the exact same. I restocked today before I left. It's the same. I try to do as much as I can. And like for instance, if I'm out in the dining room, if I ask the customers, can I take your tray up? If I'm there and if it has slowed down and I don't have any customers waiting to, there's no line at the front counter, I ask the customers, can I take your tray up? And I take their tray up. I wipe even though it's not my duty to wipe the tables in the dining room, I do these things because why not? And I take the trays back in, why not? It's a part of teamwork, and that's connected to mental health. Understanding it takes a team to run a business smoothly. And I did feel sharp pains today, like I said. And once again, in reference to the video before, the video about the Navy lady the lady used to come, the pale skin lady, she used to come and sit at the regular table. I call it the regular table. Some of the people, the black males, still come today and sit there. As she said, we paid. This is in 2016. I felt a sharp pain in my temporal. And she had the license plate Navy 1 on the back of her license plate. She used to have 2 United States American flags, one on each side of her black truck. And she was a pale skin, and I didn't understand why I felt a sharp pain. It was like a zap of sharp pain in my temporal. But I'm not accusing her, but this is just giving you a testimony. And I used to feel these things before. Now that I know we're among unclean spirits that are able to do certain things like that, and they have the science of telepathy, then I see how and why this possibly happened. I'm not accusing her. I don't know who did it. Or let's see what else. So anyway, that's my testimony for today. Once again, most of the people that come into Burger King are those that look to be on the status of Black, Negro, African American, unless they claim a nationality. The pale skin, they might call themselves white or white American, but you would say pale skin, and then that which speaks Spanish. They large amount of them be from Mexico, or they could be from South America, El Salvador, but they speak Spanish. Rarely from other countries. like European countries, rarely. And if I do hear one or see one, it's one, not many. Or Australia, China, Asia, or any place, rarely. So and then the United States Navy and Army. Like I said, quite a few of the regulars that sit at the regular table have been implied to be connected to the United States Navy, or in the United States Navy, or retired, or from the United States Navy and Army. So that's it. Those are my thoughts today. And I don't know if the bus is going to come again or not. And I told you about how now it makes sense why, because the United States Naval Academy, I was told by a customer that had the Navy emblem on his shirt, a black male. He said that it was approximately 2 miles behind Burger King. And Burger King used to have a jar, and I don't know if it's still going to be there or still there, but it had Air Force on the jar, where guests would come in and put money in the jar, put pennies in the jar. It used to be in front of my register, and that's where it sat there for a minute. I don't know if they moved it around or whatever, but just maybe 2 or 3 days ago, I realized, maybe Friday of last week, so today is June the 4th, 2019. I didn't see it in front of my register anymore, but it had changed. And but I still, the picture I show you, it shows that wonderful card, that piece of paper, that value piece of paper with Burger King emblem on it. Burger King fries, that envelope. So I like to use that picture because it does show Burger King emblem on it. And the fries that Burger King used, the value fry and the value hash brown. So I'll use that picture still when I do my testimony. But for whatever reason, that container that has Air Force, that used to have Air Force on it, is not there anymore. And that's been about 4 days approximately now. So that I think it was last Thursday or Friday, and the day is Tuesday. So today is June the 4th, 2019. That's it. I'm going ahead and go. Hopefully another bus will come. Like I said, one van just drove by. The same van, a black male was driving. He nodded his head, but he didn't stop. And it's approximately about 4 p.m. Oh, and also I was thinking about Article 1, Section 8. Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4 of the United States Constitution today, in reference to naturalization, in reference to petitioning a judge. I think about Article 6, full faith and credit. I think about Article 4, in reference to understanding what the House of Representatives and the Senate is. I think about Article 1 and Section 1, and also Section 2. And in reference to, if I could be wrong, but in reference to the 3/5 clause, I think about Article 1 and Section 3 of the United States Constitution of 1787. And what else do I think about in reference to studying? The executive, the judicial, and the executive, the judicial branch, and Congress. So that I think about that as well. Legislative. Had to think about it. Think about law. So anyway, all law is great. And as for proclamations, I think about I think about the Compensated Emancipation Proclamation, the initial Emancipation Proclamation, the Oath of Amnesty and Reconstruction. Arrington-Bey, we affirm to uphold divine laws of freedom. I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey. And what else? The compensated, the initial, the Oath of Amnesty and Reconstruction, and the supplemental Emancipation Proclamation, and the 13th Amendment of 20 sections. Islam. It's June the 4th, 2019. I say this as your wife.